Today is Thursday. We are going to start the Tempest English 2. See here, date 24th, 9/20/20, class 11. The Tempest Act 1, Scene 2, 994, page number 31. See here, page number 31. So, we know that Prospero is telling the tale. Tale means a story, how he and Miranda came on that island. Now Prospero tells further. What further he says here? Being once perfected, how to grant suits, how to deny them. See, we know that Prospero appointed Antonio as a duke in charge, and how can say he manipulated, how you can say he changed, you can say of course petitions, and of course he rejected petitions. Okay, those officials in his you can say dukedom, Milan, those who did not, you can say, agree, or those who did not do what you can say he was, what he said, they were also removed from their post, and those who you can say were willing to do what you can say he was telling, or those who were doing, those who did what Antonio said, then he was kept. He was Antonio's man. That is what you can say he says here. Being once perfected, how to grant suits. Now see, his uncle, her uncle, Miranda's uncle, or you can say Prospero's brother Antonio, achieved perfection. He became, you can say, perfect in the art of granting petitions. Okay, he was granting petitions and rejecting petitions. He was also rejecting, you can say, petitions. Petitions, you can say, of course, applications, requests, and so on. How to deny them, how to reject them, who to advance and who to trash, who to trash for over you can say topping. Now see here what it says here: whom to advance, whom to promote, which officials, which officer should be promoted, and who to trash for overtopping, and keep others, and keeping others in checks. Okay, keeping others in checks on account of their haughty behavior. And those who can say they are of course behaving differently, or they were, you can say, proud. Okay, they were having haughty, you can say, behavior. They were of course, you can say, checked. They were, you can say, of course, stopped. Okay, their petitions, their requests, their work was not done by Antonio, and they were rejected also. They were terminated, and in their place, some other people were appointed, can say, to work, you can say, under Antonio, who obeyed him, or you can say those who can say worked for Antonio only. New created the creatures that were mine. Now see, that officers who were appointed by, you can say, Prospero, they were of course, you can say, removed, terminated, and they were appointed fresh candidates, fresh, you can say, officers who, you can say, listened to Antonio, and they did whatever Antonio told them, either wrong or right. New created the creatures that were mine, that were, you can say, Prospero's. I say, or change them, or you can say he changed them. Okay, he terminated them, and he appointed other officers, other people, you can say, in their place. Or else new formed them, or you can say new appointed officers in their, you can say, posts, in their, you can say, places. Having both the key of officer and office. Okay, having both the key of officer and office, both officials, officers as well as office. Okay, all you can say were in his hand, in Antonio's hand. He kept. Set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased, you can say, his ear. Now see here, what he says here, in fact, he was now able to give the, you can say, hearts and minds of all the people in the country. In fact, he was now able to give to the hearts, and minds of all the people in the country. Okay, the direction which suited him, you can say here, most. The direction which suited him the most. Now see what you can say he does. He, you can say, just whatever he wanted, even he wanted wrong things, he will give, you can say, mind and heart, you can say, to those, you can say, people, those, you can say, will work for him. Okay, so that is what he says here. Set all hearts, you can say, in the state. So he was now able to give to the hearts, make them believe. He will tell wrong things, and you can say, he will make, you can say, his, of course, people accept, okay, that is the right thing. And the minds of all the people, and you can say, give to the hearts and minds of all the people in the country the direction which suited him most. So whatever he liked, even he liked, you can say, wrong things, and he told them, all the people will accept, and they will do it accordingly, and they will say also, they will tell others also, you can see here what Antonio said, and they said, you can say, this is the right thing. That now he was the ivy which had hit my princely trunk. Ivy, you can say, climbing plant. So he, you can say, of course, covered, you can say, here entire plant. So all the nourishment, okay, was, you can say, taken away by the, you can say, creeper, that you can say, Antonio, and here Prospero, you can say, is the, of course, plant. He was deprived of all the nutrition, or you can say, the sunlight. That means all the benefits were taken by Antonio, and Prospero was deprived of all, you can say, these things, either revenue of the state, of the, you can say, Milan, or you can say here love, you can say, of the people. He was all, you can say, completely cut off. Then say here, the ivy which had hid my princely trunk, ivy, the climbing plant, that is compared to Antonio, and sucked my grandeur out on it, and at the same time, okay, the ivy, you can say, is Antonio, ivy, you can say, climbing plant, it covered, you can say, whole plant. So all, you can say, here income or nourishment was, you can say, taken away by Antonio, and at the same time drawing nourishment from it, and you can say, he was drawing the nourishment from, you can say, the sun, okay, and the plant was, of course, you can say, the plant was, of course, not, you can say, of course, getting any kind of nourishment. In other words, no revenue, no income, okay, Prospero was not getting, and Antonio was, you can say, getting all sorts of benefit, income, nourishment from the sun, okay, that is compared to ivy. Then say here, thou attendest not, Prospero tells Miranda, you are not listening to me, Miranda, you are, you can say, thinking something else. So thou attendest not, but I find that you are not listening to me. Prospero is telling Miranda, but I find that you are not listening to my story. Miranda says here, oh good sir, I do. He says, surely sir, I am listening to you. Surely, certainly I am listening to you. I am not even thinking of anything else. Now Prospero says, I pray thee mark me. He says, I request you, listen to me here, mark me, notice me, what I am telling you. I thus neglecting worldly ends. I, you can say, neglected this worldly ends. This, you can say, of course, worldly affairs, this estate, Milan, all dedicated to closeness. And you can say, I was of course keeping myself, you can say, in the library. I was keeping, you can say here, myself in the library and reading the books, you can say, of magic, books of metaphysics, books of, you can say, black magic, and so on, all dedicated to closeness. Okay, my dedication was to only, you can say, books of magic, and the bettering of my mind with that. And you can say, I was bettering my mind, I was improving my knowledge, I was in the pursuit of this black magic, metaphysics, or you can say, supernatural power. So I was not busy with getting information from the textbook regarding these things, metaphysics, or you can say, supernatural power and things, and so on. So bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so, you can say, retired, overpriced, all, you can say, popular, you can say, rate. Okay, but by being so retired, so you can say, I was completely engrossed, okay, which you can say, these things, which you can say, studies of course, black magic, and so on. But by being so retired, overpriced, all popular rate. So you can say, overpriced. I was not, you can say, bothered, or you can say, I did not have enough time to think of, you can say, state, okay, affairs of state, and so on, affairs of Milan. In my false brother awakened an evil nature, and you can say, my false brother Antonio, an evil nature, you can say, rose in his mind. So this state of affairs, of course, aroused the ill will. This state of affairs, my keeping, okay, busy with, you can say, reading books, you can say, of magic, So this you can say, of course, affairs, okay, aroused the ill will of my deceitful, you can say, brother towards me. Just because Prospero was keeping himself busy, which you can say, with the studies, reading books, you can say, of magic in the library, Antonio, of course, you can say, became, of course, quite different, and evil nature, you can say, rose, you can say, in him, and he tried to possess or just now overtake, or you can say, usurp the, you can say, dukedom, take the dukedom by force. In my false brother awakened an evil nature, and my trust like a good parent. Okay, so he says here, Prospero says here, my trust in them produced, you can say, treachery. So the more I trusted, you can say, Antonio, the more treacherous, the more disloyal he became to me. Like a good parent, I trusted, you can say, my brother Antonio, like a good parent. Did beget of him a falsehood. So the more, you can say, my trust in him produced, you can say, treachery. The more I trusted him, the more treacherous, disloyal he became to me. Okay, in it's contrary as great as my trust was. Okay, now what it says here, which was as great as my, you can say, trust. The more I trusted, you can say, Antonio, the more treacherous he became to me. Then see, which had indeed no limit, a confidence, you can say, science bound. Now see what it says here. And truly speaking, my trust, you can say, in him had been unlimited. I trusted him, you can say here, okay, here a lot. Okay, then I had indeed, you can say here, I had indeed been reposing boundless, you can say, of course, confidence in him. So I had, you can say here, boundless, you can say, confidence in Antonio. So the more confidence I had in him, the more, you can say, disloyal, the more, you can say, of course, the more treacherous, disloyal he became to me. He being thus lauded. Now see here, in this way he became a lord. In this way, of course, he became the lord, all in all, you can say, of the state of, you can say here, Milan, of the dukedom Milan. Okay, not only with what, you can say, my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact. Not only, you can say, what my revenue, like say, as a duke, he was getting revenue, income from, you can say, of course, land, income from, you can say, people, tax, and all, okay, all these things, you can say here, Prospero was getting. All these things, of course, he started taking. Antonio, his brother, Prospero, you can say, brother. And apart from that, what you can say here, but what my power might else exact, and his power as a duke, he was taking bribe through evil means, you can say, he started earning more money. Like one who having into truth by telling of it, okay, made such a sinner, you can say, of his memory to credit, you can say, his own life. Okay, so he made, you can say, Antonio made himself, you can say here, a big sinner by telling others, okay, lies. And he told lies so many times that, you can say, his lies became, you can say, truth in people's, you can say here, knowledge. So thus behaving like a man who deliberately, you can say, falsifies, okay, his memory, and begins actually to behave, you can say here, to believe, and who begins to actually believe a lie, okay, which he takes repeatedly and which therefore becomes, you can say, truth in his eyes. So he tells, you can say, lies so many times to people that, okay, people, you can say here, believed it, they accepted it, and that became, you can say, truth in their eyes. That is what you can say, he says here, like one who having into truth. See what he says here, that he became a lord, enriched by the wealth. He was, you can say, enriched by the wealth, okay, which you can say, of course, Prospero's revenue brought to, you can say, dukedom, Antonio started getting now. So Antonio was enriched by the wealth, which by legitimate, you can say here, legitimate sources of income. Legitimate sources of incomes like tax, like there are some, you can say, charges will be there, okay, they have to pay government charges, okay, tax for the, you can say, land, or everything, many things will be there. So legitimate, you can say, sources, he was getting money. Prospero, that money, of course, he was, you can say, he started, you can say, taking. Antonio, his brother. Okay, now say here, not only with what my revenue yielded, then say here, income brought them, Okay. Then say, not only with what my revenue will get, not only you can say revenue is income, you can suppose na. Income you can say came to you can say his account, but what my power might else exact, and also you can say his power. Okay, his power you can say also exact. Exact you can say here, or of course he says here through his power you can say he used to get you can say money. That also money was taken by Antonio, like one who having into truth. Okay, so thus behaving like a man who deliberately falsifies. See, no, man deliberately can say falsifies. He tells from that is wrong, this is right. So whatever Antonio was telling people, okay, repeatedly people believed it to be can say true. Okay, falsifies his memory and who brings actually to believe a lie. Who you can say, of course, made you can say people believe you can say lie as a truth, which he tells repeatedly. Repeatedly he was telling the lies. He was telling people you can say lies, and of course he made it you can say here his lies. Okay, into a truth. Okay, made such a sinner of you can say his memory. Now see his memory repeatedly, and which therefore becomes you can say truth in his eyes. And you can say in this way by telling so many you can say times, okay, lies, he made you can say people believe that what you can say he was telling was you can say here a truth. Then say here to credit you can say his own lie. To you can say change you can say his lie into a truth. He did believe he was indeed the Duke. Now Antonio believed that okay, he was the right Duke of Milan, and Prospero was nothing. He was you can say not having enough time, or he was not interested you can say in dominating Milan. He was busy with only you can say reading books of magic, books of metaphysics, books of you can say here supernatural power and so on. Then say here, out of the substitution and executing the outward face you can say of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Now see what he says here. As a consequence you can say of his having taken my place. So as a result or as a consequence of taking Prospero's you can say place as the right Duke. Okay, he began to assume the airs of loyalty. He started you can say now. He started you can say of course assuming the airs of loyalty and to exercise the functions of royalty with all you can say its dignities and powers. Now see you can say he occupied his you can say his chair by force, and he started you can say of course assuming the airs of royalty. Okay, airs of royalty. He started behaving as if you can say he is the right Duke and Prospero you can say is nothing. Okay, and to exercise you can say the functions of course royalty with all its. So he started you can say using you can say his power. Exercise the functions of royalty. He started you can say using his power with all you can say its dignities, with all you can say its respect and powers. Okay, so here Antonio made himself you can say here the right Duke by assuming that okay he is the right Duke, and started you can say taking income from you can say state, from you can say dukedom through right means, through you can say evil means, and he made you can say himself the right Duke, and he convinced the people that Prospero you can say is nothing. Now I am the right Duke. He is not interested. He is not capable of dominating Milan and so on. Then say here with all prerogative, with all you can say his privileges, he started you can say here exercising his of course his you can say of course royalty, and he started you can say making money. Hence his ambition growing, and you can say his ambition you can say was growing to acquire more and more money, more and more power. Dost thou hear? But are you listening to me, Miranda? Prospero you can say is asking from Miranda. What Miranda says here? Your tale, sir, would cure deafness. So she tells you can say Miranda, her father, yes sir, your story is such that it can cure you can say a man's deafness. Sir, your story is such that even a deaf man would try to hear it. Okay, for today only this much. Now you can see you have to study. For first scene, Act 1, Scene 1, you have to write the summary. Okay, paraphrase in your notebook, and when a school reopens, you will submit to me. Okay, till then, goodbye. Study, enjoy also. Bye bye.